what do the Democrats need to do? Republicans are standing in the way of it, and their history will condemn them for that. But what do Democrats need to do to make sure the truth gets out?
Well, I'll tell you, Joe, this proceeding is unlike anything we've ever seen before, because unlike things like whether it was Watergate or 9/11 or even Benghazi, the hearing isn't part of the investigation. The hearing is about conclusions, and this committee is prepared to showcase those conclusions. And what's unique about this hearing today, unlike all the things that we've seen before this, we're not going to have the Republican gamesmanship up there where they're going to be trying to interrupt the hearing, do procedural nonsense, try to derail the proceeding, bring up inane and topics that aren't related to it to try to derail everything and misdirect people. They surrendered their right to be a part of these proceedings by walking away from it. So we're going to actually have a united dais, a united member front up there where everybody who's sitting there believes in the core mission of telling the truth, exposing the truth about what happened. And I think that one of the reasons why you're seeing Republicans act this way, why their propagandists act this way and react this way to January 6th hearing, is because they know the most damning part of what we're going to hear today is going to come from Republicans. They have more than 1,000.
That's a great point. That is a great point. That the worst admissions, the worst testimony, the most damning testimony will come from Republicans, will come from people inside Donald Trump's own White House. And I want you to talk about that. I also want you to talk about, again, remind our viewers that Democrats tried to get a bicameral, a bipartisan committee to investigate this. Joe Manchin was enraged at Republicans. He kept going back to Mitch McConnell going, you all have to have a bicameral, and Republicans wouldn't do it in the Senate. They wouldn't do it in the House. They kept moving the goalposts. So again, Democrats tried to make this bipartisan. Republicans don't want it to be bipartisan.
Well, that's what we have to remember as we hear Republicans tonight cry and whine about this being, as they call it, a witch hunt. We tried to put forward a 9/11 style commission that was bipartisan, bicameral, right down the middle, and they walked away from it. But interestingly enough, the way that this committee has been functioning during the investigation process has been right down the middle. The staff is majority minority. They are working together. The investigators are working together. This is not partisan. This is a thorough investigation that's been conducted by professionals, national security professionals, investigative professionals. This is not partisan at all. And again, when you look at the depositions, I think this is really the key to these proceedings. The videotaped depositions, more than 1,000 people participated, many who were close to the Republicans, who are Republican, who worked in the White House. When you have these type of depositions, Joe, they turn into confessionals. The witness tends to want to unburden themselves of the things that they have seen and heard because they're so repulsed by what happened and watching what has unfolded since then. And I think that we're going to see, not just in these proceedings, but afterwards, people who have not spoken to the committee are going to watch what happened, see who spoke out, see who spoke up, and they themselves are going to volunteer to cooperate going forward.